Hello and welcome back to the Excurse. Today, we're having some camera problems, so no camera. However, in person, I've got Jake Bristow. How are you doing?
I'm alright, just a little bit hot because I did walk all the way from my house.
You did, and it's boiling in here, and we've turned the fan off for recording, so it's gonna get hot.
It's gonna get hot.
We're top of the tower, and it is is pretty warm up here. But yeah, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Thanks for having me on the Metal Chat a couple of weeks last week.
Yeah, last week. Yeah,
it was good fun.
So, yeah, it was last week. I've done so many chats. You were my 50th, so that's.
I was your 50th chat. Yeah, that was an honor, sir. But yeah, so Jake, you're like bassist, vocalist, everything in one band.
You're
like every instrument in one band, right?
In one band. Well,
Viscera, right?
Viscera, yeah. I'm trying to. Well, Viscera is pronounced, but
Viscera, yeah. It was with a K, so I assumed it's Viscera rather than Viscera. But yeah.
Still writing some.
So is that a
songs.
New project?
Yeah, well, I've had it for because me and some mates formed it.
Right.
But then we didn't do a proper band out of it because everyone was like busy with either uni or work or whatever was going on in their life. But my mate said, "Oh, you can have the name and do whatever you want." I was like, "Cool."
So you're going to be doing everything
just in the studio. I want to try and do some live stuff with a full band, but then it's just finding members because all of them are in like so many different bands. It's it's hard to like. Yeah, do you want to do this? And like, oh, I'm busy with this band. That's fine.
Yeah, fair enough, man.
That's cool.
So, what instruments can you play? Like,
what can I play?
Yeah.
Well, guitar.
Yeah.
Bass. Drums.
You can play drums. I was thinking that. I was like, can you play drums?
I can play the drums, but I haven't played them in a while.
Right.
So I might be a bit like.
Yeah.
No, can't. But what else can I play? A little bit of keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
I tried playing violin once. It didn't work out.
Right. Yeah. I imagine violin's pretty tough. Yeah, although drums are pretty tough. I can never get that.
It's that coordination with the drums. So.
That's the problem I get. I'm fine. I can do like my hands or I can do my legs. I can't do like the combination of the two. It always goes wrong.
It takes practice, but then things I just learnt on my own was doing blast beats, like you hear in bands like Napalm Death and a lot of death metal bands.
Yeah.
Well, Napalm Death's grindcore, but still.
Yeah.
But I've had lessons, not on drums, on guitar. Back at school when I just
kept going
and just taught myself because I don't need no teacher.
The best way to learn, I think, often is just by yourself, and especially now you got YouTube, you got there's so many things you can use to learn things.
Oh yeah.
I always look at, I mean, there are obvious exceptions to that rule, but I look at a lot of training courses and things like that, and I'm like, oh man, I could just use YouTube.
Just use YouTube.
It's fine.
There's teachers on there.
There are, like, for pretty much anything, like video editing, making movies and stuff. I'm like, oh, how do I do this? I'll go on YouTube, find a tutorial.
Go on YouTube. And
how do I fix this thing that's broken in my house?
Go on YouTube.
I'll figure it out, So, yeah, fair enough, man. Teaching yourself. When did you... Right, so you asked me this question. Now I get to ask you this question. When did you first get into music, and what were your first kind of, musical tastes?
Music, well, obviously I mentioned Queen in our chat, well, my show on YouTube.
Jake's Metal Chat on YouTube.
By the way. That's because of my mum, because she's a big Queen fan. She gone saw him recently.
Right,
in London.
Yeah.
Obviously, no Freddie, because
I'm
Adam Lambert.
I'm curious because Adam Lambert's pretty good though, so I'm curious how that would work out. I've never seen them, but like
I haven't heard too much of Queen with Adam Lambert.
No, I think I've seen like the odd live video, and it seems pretty good.
But I'm jealous of my mum, by the way, because she got to see Queen. So, but it's not all the members. John Deacon's not in the band anymore. I know that.
Did she ever get to see Queen with Freddie?
No.
Okay.
Never. But she got to see David Bowie.
Right.
Back in '87. That was the what was it? Glass Spider tour.
I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah, to be honest.
With my dad, and 3 rows behind them was Princess Diana.
Right.
Which was like cool. So Queen was one of them. But also there's my dad who listens to like Corner Gang, Bruce Springsteen, The Boss.
Yeah.
Don't know why he's got given The Boss, but who else did he like? Earth, Wind and Fire.
Nice. So it was like a lot of rock, kind of
rock, funk.
Yeah.
when my mum, because she got a lot of it from her nan, like Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Elvis Presley, stuff like that. So I grew up on that. But then everybody would have had it, unless you were lucky enough to have a family member who was already in metal, and then you got in the metal straight away.
My dad.
Well, I got in the metal because of friends, and then just find bands on my own.
So how did you find it? Just friends were like, "Hey, you need to listen to this," or
yeah, one of my brother's mates got me two CDs of 2 Pantera albums.
Which ones?
The Vulgar Display of Power.
Oh.
And the Great Southern Trendkill.
Nice.
I was like, who's this band?
Yeah.
And I checked them out. I was like, this band's pretty
So
cool.
your entry into metal was Pantera, pretty much.
Pantera, Metallica, Slayer,
the usual.
Maiden,
Yeah.
Sabbath. But yeah, mainly the first 4 bands I just mentioned.
Yeah.
Maiden.
Yeah.
And then it just progressed from listening to this traditional heavy metal like Maiden to thrash metal to death metal and black metal and doom metal, and then I found Napalm Death in 2008. So I thought, what's this? Grindcore. Never heard of grindcore. Heard more bands. I can see why it's called grindcore. It's fast. All the songs are fast and
I imagine. Yeah, short sets.
It's like that meme you get. 10 minutes later, a grindcore show. Already missed the first 2 bands.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, because like I said, my music taste changed a lot over the years. So
you never go. I never go off music though. Like if it's something I've been into, I'm always into it forever.
I still love those bands. The only things I don't listen to anymore is all the 90s pop bands that people heard. That's what I was listening to. So yeah, I heard like Westlife and Backstreet Boys growing
I think
up.
growing up in the UK, you couldn't avoid.
You couldn't avoid it.
That was like unavoidable.
Same. Well, also Britney Spears. You couldn't avoid that either.
No, that's true. Actually, yeah, she definitely penetrated the UK pretty substantially in the late 90s. There,
late 90s, early 2000s.
It was late 90s, wasn't it, when she started out over here?
Yeah, late 90s.
And then and then into the 2000s.
2000s, and then shit got crazy for her. But there you go.
Yeah.
But then I found better
Seems
music.
to have sorted herself out now, though. Which is
definitely
good news, you know.
But I've got the much better music in that, so
yeah.
And I've seen too many bands to count.
Yeah, have you got any favorites amongst the group? You know, bands that stand out for you, just in terms of bands, and then in terms of live bands. You know,
in terms of live bands,
well, both. So like,
well, they're playing today at Download or this evening. Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
they always stand out as a great live band.
Fantastic live band.
Fantastic, like always stand out.
Yeah, they do. Their live shows are excellent.
Because yesterday was Kiss.
Kiss, another great live band.
Yeah, I saw them in 2015 at Download.
I think I saw them. I want to say 2008 or 9 at Download. But yeah, I've seen them at Download. They were pretty good then. They're one of those bands you think they're done, and then they'll bring out.
Then they'll just come out with something else.
Like they'll bring out, like I remember, I was like, oh, Kiss, Kiss, great back in the day, but they're done. And then they came out with Sonic Boom, and it was like, Jesus Christ, this album's incredible.
It's like, yeah, this ain't gonna be good.
You know?
Oh shit.
Well, yeah, it's the same with a lot of bands. Though. Like Sabbath did that with 13. I was like, I don't know, is it going to be any good? And then you hear it, you're like, oh my god, this is fantastic.
Because I heard God Is Dead, that song. I thought, this is not going to be any good. And then it was like going back to their very first album.
Yeah.
So, the debut, which is just called Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then saw him, twice that year in 2012. Because they played the O2 in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Which my mate Chris was very excited for because my auntie got 2 tickets.
Right.
I thought, okay, I got one.
Yeah.
Who's going to get the other ones? I messaged my mate saying, so I got 2 tickets to see Black Sabbath. Do you want one? I didn't hear from him for like 5-10 minutes because he was going, oh, I gotta say Black Sabbath, just jumping on the sofa and everything.
Well, you should have got back faster. You might have messaged a couple of people.
I might have been like, if he's not going to get back to me. Oh, cut. Oh, okay, he's back.
That's amazing. So you got to see the original lineup? Was that with Bill Ward?
They didn't have the drum. They didn't have Bill Ward. No.
Okay.
Something. I think something happened between.
They fell out with him, didn't they?
I think they fell out with Bill, and that's why he didn't come back.
Yeah.
But I can't remember who the drummer is that they had. I think he used to play in Faith No More for a bit, if I remember correctly. I can't.
Oh yeah, I can't think of his name. He's a good drummer though.
Yeah, really good drummer. Yeah, so Black Sabbath, that definitely a standout
Yeah,
live band,
that's yeah.
and one of my favourites.
Hmm.
Who else? Lamb of God.
Lamb of God are fantastic live, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw them in 2007 the first time at Download.
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, this is... Because I got them to like 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
Around that time, because my mate said, check out Lamb of God, the song Black Label.
Yeah.
From their first album, yeah. I was like,
I always remember going with my friend to a gig, and we went to see Dimmu Borgir, and they were supporting Lamb of God. And
I was at that.
And I remember at the time we were both like, "This feels like the wrong way around. Like they should be supporting Dimmu, not the other way around."
Yeah, I was at that same show.
And then is they the O2, right?
Yeah, the 2009.
And then like a few years later, it was like, "Oh my god, actually, Lamb of God are huge now." It's like they're absolutely massive. But at the time, I was like, "This should be the other way around."
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but they're great live, Lamb of God, really.
Yeah,
good.
They are great live. I'm trying to remember who else was on that support. I know.
I honestly can't remember.
I think it was Whitechapel and Unearth. I want to say.
Was it Unearth? It might have been.
Might have been Unearth, or it might have been someone else. I can't really remember now, but
good gig anyway.
Good gig nonetheless. So that Lamb of God stand out.
Yeah.
Like that.
Are there any live bands that you don't listen to like studio stuff of, but live they just put on such a show? Because like for me,
no, I can't really think.
Like I never listened to Slipknot, but having seen them live, I would definitely see them live again with their like crazy like upside down drumming and
I haven't heard their
like
I haven't heard their studio stuff in a while actually. So.
No, I don't listen to it, but like live, they're amazing.
Oh yeah, live definitely,
like incredible.
Because I got to see him again. Going back to Download again.
Yeah,
they played 2005. Except Clown wasn't there because he was having family problems or something. So they had the other percussion kit.
Yeah.
But he wasn't there, so Sid the DJ had to go back
just
and
running
forth.
back,
just going back and forth. It's like I was like 13 at the time, almost 14, and I went with my mum with all people.
Oh man, I went with my dad. Well, obviously I said on Jake on your Metal Chat show, like my dad was huge into metal and rock, so yeah, I went to plenty of gigs with my dad in recent years. I realized that he'd never gone to a gig, despite like basically informing my entire music taste, and despite getting me into metal and rock because that's what was being listened to at my house when I was a kid. I realized he'd never gone to any gig, so I was like, these bands that you love, like Rainbow and Whitesnake, these bands are not going to be around
forever
for much longer at all. So I was like, let's do it, and we ended up going to a bunch of shows. We saw Whitesnake, and we did Rainbow when they were with Ronnie Romero a couple of years back. Cool. They kind of did like a couple of shows, one in Birmingham we went to, and it was like, yeah, this is awesome. But I always remember it's such a pain in the ass. He was like, we were sat there watching Rainbow, and it's like, I don't know how much it cost in total, probably like 150 quid for the 2 tickets, And like we were sat there, and he was like, "Yeah, I had a chance to see him when I was a kid, but I never went." And I was like, "You fuck! That probably cost like 10 quid a ticket if you'd gone then, and now it's cost like 150 for both of us." But
yeah, just look at that gigs back then, like you.
Well, in these bands, when they do these one-off reunion things,
you see like local shows is like £1.50 for entry. It's like
yeah,
and a punk gig.
Like half the time they're not one-off reunions as well.
No.
I think I've learned from that now. Like I used to fall for that when it was like, we're doing a one-off reunion and you pay a fortune and then the year later they're just reformed permanently and the tickets are like half the price. You're like, you bastards.
You bastards. Why would you do this?
So when did you start playing music?
When I stopped playing?
School, I guess.
Well, yeah, around school, we didn't play any instruments until.
Well, everyone played the recorder, Jake.
Well, we called a. It's like triangle.
I don't know if that's the same in the US, but in England, like everyone plays the recorder.
Yeah, I played the recorder.
Like, everyone
was no good at it.
No.
It's no good at it. Need
so
the lung power.
Did you form your first band in school? Was that like?
No, I didn't form a band in school. It was sometime after that.
Okay.
Mates of mine were. They formed a band, and it was a place called Hartcliffe, not too far from
Hartcliffe,
me. Yeah. Hartcliffe, yeah. And
I'm from Whitchurch, so
same
neck of the woods.
Whitchurch, Hartcliffe, Bishopsworth. I'm from Bishopsworth, so I'm not too far. Basically, we my mate said, "Oh, come and see my band rehearse." I was
Right.
like, okay. And I didn't know where they were actually rehearsing, so then my mum just dropped me off there because I didn't know where it was. I didn't know too many places in Artcliffe.
Yeah.
I knew certain places, not a lot of them, and then got in there, got given a bass, and then they said to a mate of mine named Connor. I haven't seen him in years now, but
Yeah.
and our vocalist at the time said, "Here's our new bassist."
Right. Had you ever played bass before?
Not at that point.
Right. But you play guitar?
I played guitar,
Right,
but
so
they only had a guitarist.
I guess they figured you could figure it out.
I could figure it out.
Yeah.
And I learned how to play American Idiot by Green Day.
Right.
Was the first song on bass.
Uh-huh. So was it a punk band or
it was a mix?
A mix of everything.
Of punk and metal.
Yeah.
It was. If I could find any of our 2 songs that we did recordings of, you could probably get
a genre
out of it somewhere.
Yeah.
But we did a show at our mate Connor's house. He was playing guitar at the time with us for a barbecue.
Right.
And
that was your first ever gig?
Pretty much.
Nice.
And well, because we had a different name now because the name we had, which was Half Past Dead. You think the film with Steven Seagal and John?
That's
I don't think that's what he was going for, but it's just like Half Past Dead. It's like, cool.
We're gonna be called Under Siege 2, Enemy Territory.
That would have been good. Yeah, we had a name called Tempo 99. I don't know where that even came from.
Tempo 99.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
was that the tempo of every song?
I think it was. I just wasn't paying attention to the tempo. But we had a blanket, or those wool blankets, and painting our fan name on the back. I was just
class.
Like, okay.
Well, you know, got to put on a show.
Nowadays, it'd be like, get a proper banner done.
Yeah, but when you're an adult and you can afford to, you know, save up for those things, it's a bit easier.
Yeah, because we're all
back as a kid,
teenagers.
You just got to make do, right?
So I was about, when I joined, I was about 17.
Yeah,
something like that.
So after that, you just got the bug, and you were like, I want
to play more bands.
I want to play more bands. Yeah.
And then, later on, I met Alex in 2010.
Yeah.
At Fear Factory.
Nice. Anthem Rooms?
Oh, no, it was the O2.
Oh, the O2. I didn't do that.
It was supported by Darth and High on Fire.
High on Fire. Now, that is a band. That's a hell of a
could barely hear the vocalist, though, because all the instruments were turned up way loud and his vocals were, like, way down. I was trying to get the sound engineer's attention, turn the fucking...
Yeah, I must...
mic up.
It's so hit and miss at the O2 in Bristol.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it depends on the sound tech, because some of them are awful. I'm like, what are you even doing? Like, are you even listening?
Yeah, I think...
you know, you've got the best sound in the room where you are as a sound tech. That's why the desk is there.
Sort it out.
Like, how do you not figure this out?
Yeah, how could you... No, seriously, yeah. But I think when I saw Meshuggah there recently, that sold-out show, I think they had their own sound guy.
It's the way to be.
Because if you see the sound guy at one of their Paris shows, whatever year it was, he's in time with everything.
Yeah, he just knows off by heart, knows the set.
It's like, how does he do this?
Amazing.
But yeah, that's where I met Alex, and he had his Doom band at the time. It ain't going anymore, and I just hit that. It's a funeral doom metal band for you funeral doom metal fans out there.
And what was that band called?
Aventail.
Aventail, okay.
I think he asked me to join, but I was so busy with college at the time I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So he got his brother, who can play bass, but he's more of a jazz bassist, his brother.
Right.
But it's like, jazz bass to this.
Well, I mean, bass is bass, right?
Bass is
I guess
bass.
if you're happy to play it.
You can transition.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously met Alex that year, and then we became mates, and I was like, yeah, let's form a band.
So, what was the first band you formed called, or is this the first band that you're now in? Is this the first time you've actually got it together?
This is the band we formed together, but we had 2 different names before the one we got now.
Right, what were the previous bands?
I can't remember what order they went in.
Okay.
But the first one was called Yostra.
Right.
And then the other one was Fordeon. I don't know where you got those names from, but we were more on the power metal side of it. I was like, well, we both like folk metal.
Yeah. Do what you love.
Let's see if we can mix symphonic bits with folk metal. But then, since the direction we're going now is more folk, so more
So now with
folk instruments.
Now with Aventail, it's
with Aventail,
it's folk metal.
Folk metal.
Yeah.
Well,
nice.
on our business cards on the back it says pagan folk metal from Bristol.
Well, that works. Yeah. And then of course you had Herbicidal as well.
Yes, I classed it as stoner doom death metal, but it's just doom, really.
Yeah, it's just filthy doom.
It's just filthy, disgusting.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah, we've got that one album out and nothing was achieved.
Yeah, which is a fantastic name for a stoner album.
And I guess it makes sense that around the time we released it in 2020, because
because nothing did happen in 2020.
Nothing got achieved. No gigs were happening after March of 2020.
Yeah,
we released it in April.
Did you do any gigs? As Herbicidal?
We did one at the Griffin.
That
was the 5th of October, which is Alex's birthday, funny enough.
Right.
And wished him a happy birthday. I wore a lot of black that day. I wore a black t-shirt, black trousers, trainers, a funky looking 70s shirt which the bassist had.
Right.
But it barely fit me because it was a large, and I don't fit in large fucking tops anymore. Because broad shoulders, fat beer belly, and all that. But fat beer belly is probably muscle under there. But and I was like, yeah, I'm getting to it on this because we did a live album of that gig, which is on our Bandcamp.
Oh, okay.
It's called it was Leon who named it. Sorry, he named it Stone Temple Meters.
Okay, that's a brilliant name.
Which, okay.
Not many people are going to get the meter bit, but unless you're from Bristol.
Let's get Stone Temple Mead. You know, if you're from Bristol, you get Temple Meads.
Yeah.
But if you're not from Bristol, you're like, what the fuck is he on about?
Yeah.
Come to Bristol, find Temple Mead, you'll get it.
Yeah.
And we recorded it at RS Studios, the album.
Oh, I love RS Studios. I haven't been there for years.
Yeah, we did 2 full rehearsals with Aventail before our first gig back in March.
They're nice guys down at RS.
Oh yeah, great guys.
And Dockside as well. That was another place I always used to like.
Yeah, we never went to that one.
Okay, it's up by the SS Great Britain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, up that way.
But Herbicidal, on the other hand, well, Leon messaged me a while back. I don't know if we're still going to do it. Meet up and
reunion
and do a music video of us two in a graveyard for one of our songs. He said, "Well, music video of us laying down in a graveyard."
Right.
Okay.
Sure.
Which song? And it's like, this song. It's like, okay. Haven't done anything since.
Well, who knows? So are you guys still technically together?
If you look on the Metallic page, it says we split up.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's why I'm asking, because it sounds like if you're making a music video, maybe you're not so
want to try and get it reformed, but
okay. Who knows?
Who knows? You might see some filthy doom again.
Yeah, hopefully, man.
Hopefully, and making an album, because it's been 2 years since that one came out, and nothing was achieved. Which I want to get CDs off, like physical CDs, but it's on Bandcamp or whatever you want to pay.
Yeah, just look up Herbicidal.
Just look up Herbicidal, and nothing was achieved. You find out Bandcamp, it's on there.
And then Aventail, you guys did a pretty big gig festival, right?
Yeah, up Yorkshire.
Up in Yorkshire, and then you're going back this year?
Going back this year in September. It's Warhorns again.
Yeah.
This is the late summer camp festival.
Mm-hmm.
The one we did was post-winter, even though, it's early March, it's still fucking winter. Alex thought, and this is Alex, because he is a northerner, let's go camp there.
Right.
Not the best decision in the world.
Not in March.
Up
north.
June, July, August, September time. Yeah, it's still going to be warm. You're right.
I mean, I always remember getting off the train in like Doncaster, and just, you can feel the temperature drop by like 2 degrees. It's like it is noticeably colder up there. Yeah,
because when I was coming from Bristol to go, and then we picked Alex up going from Bristol. It was like, it's quite mild here. But then get up to Yorkshire. Yeah, this is cold.
Yeah.
Whose idea is it to camp here?
So you're back in
vocalist.
So you're back in September.
Yes.
Looking forward to it?
Oh yes.
Nice.
some bands have been announced so far.
Yeah.
Don't want to say too much about it because there's still a lot more to be announced.
Yeah, but obviously they liked you enough to have you back, so that's awesome.
Yeah, because I started talking to Glenn, who's the organizer.
Yeah.
And he was talking to both of us separately at different points of the day, saying, "Oh, you're coming back. We're going to be on later on in the evening."
Nice.
We were the first band on.
Yeah. So you've gone from first band to sometime in the evening.
Yeah, because we're like second band on before the headliner.
Okay.
And there's a band on after us from Denmark, and then it's that band.
No pressure then.
No pressure. But people love this so much.
Well, yeah, no, that's cool, man. And you got one song out right at the moment with Aventail?
Yeah, it's from our upcoming EP, which one more song needs to get recorded. But once that's done, you'll find it on our Bandcamp.
Yeah, you said you were waiting for vocals, right?
Vocals, yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the last song we need doing.
Yeah, how many songs are going to be on the EP?
I'm trying to remember. I think it's about 5.
5? Cool.
Songs. I could be wrong, but
a solid number.
I'm going to say about 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
But
awesome,
I'm guessing 5.
Yeah. Any plans going forward after that, or are you just going to see what happens after?
We're trying to get gigs in October.
Yeah.
Try and get a mini tour sorted out.
Yeah.
With Mordrake and Accursed Years.
Nice.
Both in that genre.
Yeah.
Mordrake's more on the melodic death metal side of metal.
Yeah.
But still they fit. And Accursed Years are folk is so
yeah.
They got a song called Drunken Revelry.
I've not heard it.
It's really good. I try to remember when I first saw them. Yeah, in Bristol, actually,
right.
at the Griffin.
Oh,
I thought,
cool.
Who's this band Accursed Years? And then
I'll have to check them out.
Checked them out. I was like, yeah. And then they played HRH Vikings up in Sheffield.
Right.
Which one of the other bands who play there, they're from, I can say this, but as a Vanaheim.
Mm-hmm.
They played HRH this year. They're playing Warhorns.
Right. Well, you can chat to them there.
Chat to them there.
Sort out the gig.
Chat to Vanaheim, from the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
Because they released their debut album recently.
Yeah.
Well, not. Yeah, debut. It's really good.
You got plans for an album?
We have got plans for an album. Just obviously.
Yeah.
EP.
Get the EP done and then
got to do some band rehearsals and then. So obviously our next gig's in September. It's June, so it's
gonna come around.
So we need to get on it as soon as.
Is everyone
possible.
in Bristol?
Well, me and Alex are obviously. Iona's somewhere in Bristol. Not sure whereabouts she lives in Bristol. That's our female vocalist and violinist. Neil's in Yate.
Okay, so you're all pretty local.
And James is in Yeovil.
That's not too bad. That I've heard worse.
But works in Dorset.
Okay. Well, I mean, Alex used to work out at sea, so.
Well, his job now, he works on the ferries.
Oh, he does work on the ferries.
He does work on the ferries, just not in a profession, as it was.
Yeah.
When he's like, yes, I'm part of the Navy. Cool.
That was such a nightmare. I remember filming Annette, and no, I think it was more Cold Shot.
Cold Shot, yeah, it is.
It was like, oh yeah, I gotta cut my hair like when I go back to the Navy. So we were like trying to plan shoots around like, and we were like, right, okay, so you're going to the Navy on this date, so we'll get as much shot as we can beforehand with your hair the way it was, because we started it with him with longer hair, and then it was like, okay, so I've got how long after you get back will it take for your hair to grow back to the same length again so that we can do the next couple of shots? And we literally got it timed. We were like, me and Alex like timed it down to like, right, okay, we'll give it like 7 weeks after, and then you'll be like long enough to be back to like.
I remember one scene you were shooting here with him when he's got the day that, was it a Walking Dead book or was it the Dungeons and Dragons? But I can't remember what book he was reading.
I can't remember what he was reading now either.
But it's when he's talking to.
I think it might have just been
talking to Annette, and his hair was really short there.
Yeah,
and I know because I was sat in one of the chairs when you were filming it.
Yeah,
I could have just sat in the sofa pretending to be in there. It's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, because he wasn't around when Janie was, so that scene was shot.
Yeah,
they were not in the same room.
They were not in the same room. If anyone was thinking that,
no,
they
movie magic
to make it look like they were. It's The Walking Dead. It's zombies.
Yeah,
it's literally my worst nightmare. And shopping.
Wow, you remember more of that film than I do.
I remember some lines.
Some lines.
Well,
yeah.
I messed up the line. I thought it was "fuck off, Blair bitch." It's "get fucked, Blair bitch." That Steven says.
That's Steven. Yeah.
Now I'm trying to remember who's Jay's character. Steven.
So that segues us on nicely to acting, because you've done like stage work as well as on camera. When did you first decide to get into that?
Well, I started doing acting stuff at primary school, but didn't like it.
Didn't like it?
Not at first.
Right.
Because at the time, and it still kind of happens now, I get a bit of stage fright a little.
Yeah, I imagine especially doing it live on stage must be real.
But then other times I'm just like, just got to pretend they're not there.
Yeah, definitely.
I know they're there because I can see them out in the audience.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a monologue, I know they're there. But then where I perform an actor, it gets dark because the lights on the stage are brighter.
Yeah.
I can barely see him.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, cool. But yeah, primary school.
Didn't like it.
Didn't like it too much, but I did it. And this is from one of my friends, Holly. I haven't seen her in years, actually. Well, last time I saw her, actually, was, about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And around that time, she got married.
Yeah.
Well, didn't go to the wedding because obviously you can't have too many people mingling. So it's just her family and stuff. But yeah, she got a bunch of us together to do a primary school production of Grease.
Nice.
And I played Kaneki.
That's awesome.
And I had short hair at the time, which I'm not going back to anytime soon.
I love Grease, so that's
It was on one of the Sky Movie channels not too long back.
Was it? Nice.
Yeah, I thought, I'll watch this again because I liked it.
Yeah, I like Grease. I have a theory. I think Grease is a great movie. Most people hate it because their parents had it on all the time, or their sister had it on all the time.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I loved it. I absolutely love Grease.
My mum,
and Grease 2. I still think Grease 2 is underrated.
I've not actually watched Grease 2.
You should watch Grease 2. It's a good movie.
There's so many films I haven't watched it. It's like, ugh.
I hate that, man. I do, a movie review show, and the people always say, "Oh my god, you haven't seen this film?" It's like, yeah, oh my god, I haven't watched every film ever made. Clearly not.
It's like oh, what, you haven't heard this death metal band?
Yeah, exactly.
I have,
like you do Jake's Metal Chat.
I haven't heard every single
band?
Like some people say, oh yeah, they mentioned one band. Like, I'm not I don't know them.
No,
but I might check them out.
Yeah,
but yeah, with films, like obviously when we were doing that primary school production of Grease was on the TV,
right?
Because it got put in the news and everything,
right?
I was like, I got a newspaper clipping laminated of that. I can't remember when that was. Might have been 2002, something like that.
Right.
Long time ago, so about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Fucking scary. But yeah, just looked at the picture. I was like, man, I did not suit short hair. It's got long hair, obviously. So yeah, I didn't really like it, and then I don't know, something changed when I went to secondary school, and then
just started enjoying it more.
Enjoying it a little more, and I was like watching, because obviously I like watching films, and I was like, well, if I'm getting more into acting, I need to look at some of my favourite actors, see what they do differently if I was going to be in a film, and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and then seen a lot of stage work as well. Saw one show of Cats years ago. Seen Blood Brothers twice. The Phantom of the Opera twice. I've seen music.
Phantom of the Opera is fantastic.
Not Phantom of the Opera. Couldn't sing any of the stuff in it though, because I'm not much of a singer.
No, it's yeah.
Just get me a song, get someone in the background.
Cats is a weird one. I was really like confused when they made the movie, and people were like, "Oh, it's so weird." I haven't seen the movie, but I remember like people were like, "Oh god, it's really weird." I'm like, "Cats is really weird." Like, what were you expecting? Like,
it's people dressed up as cats.
Like, no way that film was not going to be weird.
Yeah, because I remember seeing it. I was like, they done it, didn't they? They made this film, didn't they?
They really did. And
obviously, a lot of classic Disney films have been made into live action ones now. So
yeah, there is a lot of stage crossover.
Yeah, because I've seen the live action version of Beauty and the Beast, which I fairly enjoyed.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast is fantastic.
I also love the original, which came out the year I was born, actually.
Oh, not bad. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the John
No,
Coteau version, the French
no, not the
Beauty and
French.
the Beast movie.
No,
from
I'm about the Disney.
I can't remember when
Disney
it
film
out.
came out in 91, like the year I was born.
Yeah. Which is a good. I like. That's one of my favorite Disney films, actually.
Yeah, I love that one. Aladdin.
Yeah, Aladdin's good. I remember seeing Aladdin in the cinema as a kid.
I never saw it in the cinema.
I did.
Saw it years after it
Yeah,
came
yeah,
out.
yeah.
But I'm trying to remember what Disney films I've seen in the cinema. I might have saw Mulan in the cinema.
Right. I think I saw. Definitely saw Aladdin and The Lion King in the cinema.
Oh, I saw Lion King.
But I can't think of much else.
Can't think of much else. But yeah, me getting into more acting. So I joined a community theatre group called Actor.
Right.
Based in Bedminster.
Mm-hmm.
And we do a lot of our own shows, and we did a tour of one show in 2014 and 2017 called Gas Girls,
Right.
which was also covered on the news
Mm-hmm.
on BBC and ITV.
Yeah.
Those tours went really well. My favourite one was obviously 2017 because we got to go outside of Bristol a bit more.
Yeah.
So we performed in Bath and Western, and
Nice.
which was great.
Yeah.
The Western one was like a big proper stage as well.
Yeah.
The one in Bath was the Rondo Theatre, which is a bit smaller. Anyone who might be listening to this and is from Bath,
Yeah.
you know which theatre I'm on about. That one, and there's also the bigger Bath Theatre, which I can't remember what that one's called, but I saw a performance of Contrafina there with my
Nice.
mum. So I thought, Contrafina, yeah. What shows have I seen? Oh yeah, me and Alex saw Sir Ian McKellen in Hamlet and in the Cherry Orchard last year,
That's amazing.
and I got to meet him.
Yeah. Nice guy from the sound of it.
Very humble man.
Really? Yeah.
But you know,
I've heard like everyone that's met him said like he just seems like
he's
a really nice
very
guy.
nice. Yeah, because I literally he was talking to some people that he knew, and then after he was done, I went, Sir Ian. He goes, what? I was like, oh, okay. Amazing performance. Shook his hand.
Yeah.
So, oh, could you sign my program and maybe get a photograph? I was like, oh, no pictures. I shouldn't even be out here. It's like, autograph's just fine. And then met a bunch of the other actors. I was trying to wait a bit longer to meet Martin Shaw, but I think he was taking too long. So me and Alex went to the pub
Right.
afterwards. That was the Cherry Orchard one, not Hamlet.
Yeah.
Because they're all backstage. Because with Hamlet, they started from June
Right.
and they were finishing in September. So they had
okay.
all these long shows. I was like, where's the break?
So when did you decide to do, get involved in film acting, like on camera?
Don't know. I haven't done many films. I did a film for a media student at college here.
Yeah.
Back in 2011.
Okay.
Around that time, about 2011.
Yeah.
And it was a short film for his final project.
Yeah.
I can't find it anymore on YouTube. I tried finding it again. I can't find it. I think he got rid of it.
Right.
But it was me and mate of mine I hadn't seen in a long time. We were both in it. And then I thought, well, if given the chance to be in a film,
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then Alex was tagged in a picture for Net. I thought, when the hell did this happen? And then
yeah, I didn't know you about then. So.
yeah, he didn't know me. And then I started chatting to you. He's like, oh, you've been in the next film, which is called Shot.
Yeah.
Which I had fun making.
That was good fun.
Because most of my scenes obviously were shot at the Griffin, except for one scene in your bathroom over there.
Oh yeah, we did do the bathroom shot.
And then reshot my bit where I get my head exploded.
Oh, the green screen shot with your head exploded. Yeah.
With the demon behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know if that was actually someone dressed up as the demon. Who was dressed as the demon?
I think it was me.
Was it you?
I think so. Can't remember now. It's all very hazy, that movie. It's just a lot of stress and
there was a lot
work.
of things going on because
there's too much going on.
you started filming it like January
and
didn't finish until what was it, June?
I have no idea.
Somewhere like June, so it took
forever.
Took like 6 months at least.
We were still filming. I think I filmed stuff with Daz. I want to say I filmed that opening and ending scene with Daz.
Oh yeah.
About a week before we showed the film, so we were still. I was editing and fucking around with that film.
Yeah, because I didn't know how the film was going to start.
Last minute.
Yeah, I didn't know how the film was going to start, and all of a sudden I just see Daz in like
we came up with that.
a
Like,
pink bloody
I was watching it and I was like, this needs something funny to open it with, and I can't think what. And then it was just like, yeah, let's do it.
Let's just do that.
Let's do that.
And it worked. And then yeah, it was funny.
It was funny.
And
good fun.
Good fun. It was good fun. Like I said, a lot of those things were shot at the Griffin. One bit was outside.
Yep.
After I get, if anyone has watched the film, I get Vulcan neck pinched at one point.
You do indeed. But it was good fun. It was good fun to film that. It was a good fun.
And plus, I was playing a part that I am what I am in real life, which is a metalhead.
Yeah, you were perfect for it. It's like, oh yeah, that's Jake. Fine.
Go, done.
Works. It's like be really over the top, but a metalhead.
It'll work.
Yeah, and it did. I think it worked really well, man. I love that. That character's hilarious. I really like it. Came out well.
It's like, you're Bristolian and a twat. It's like, you cannot stop the Metal Lord. It's like, oh god, this is so over the top, but I love it.
Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah,
because we talked about that on my show, but
we did. So, what films are you into? What obviously you're into acting and all of that kind of stuff. What films from your childhood or nowadays? What are your
childhood wise? Obviously, like Aladdin. And all the Disney films. Yes, I'm a Disney fan. People.
I'm a classic Disney fan. Can't say I'm a big fan of new Disney. But...
I do like Godzilla.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Who doesn't like Godzilla? I just look at this one, which was the.
Is
that the 2014 one?
No, that is from Godzilla vs Kong. That is very modern.
That is modern, but there's all the
that is not modern. That goes like 60s to
50s to 70s.
50s is right back there.
Just look at King Kong.
Yeah.
1933's King Kong.
Yeah.
Love that.
Great film.
All the Universal horror films.
Yeah, we talked about this because when you came round to film Cold Shot, you were like, you like
this stuff,
like the old horror
I got
films.
Hunchback of Notre Dame with Lon Chaney. I was like,
I do,
sweet.
And Jekyll and Hyde and Phantom of the Opera.
I got a lot of those.
yeah, Nosferatu, obviously, which we covered on the movies made us do it a couple of weeks ago. Actually,
the movies made us do it.
But yeah, oh man, I love that first those first couple of runs Universal did with horror. Fantastic. And then Hammer obviously came
along and
did
got a bit more
tremendous job as well.
And got a bit more violent.
Yeah.
It's like you watch all the ones from the 50s, like these are kind of violent. It's like, wow, it's a new era of horror. Yeah. And then Psycho's another one of my favourites, which is sort of collection now, and I've seen all of them now.
They're not great.
First one
is obviously
the best,
fantastic.
Second one has its moments.
I kind of have a soft spot for the third one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, they are what they are. The first one's really the only solidly good one, I think, personally.
Yeah, it's one of my favourites. I remember when I heard about it, I just remember Janet Leigh in the shower and then she gets stabbed to death. Which is,
she was a massive star. It's quite a shocking opening to a film to kill off someone. Because the movie does really set her up as if she's the star, because she steals the money at the start, and she's like on the run and like, this is the movie, it's going to be her. Yeah. And then she'll end up at this house and horror things will happen. But you don't expect her to get killed off.
You don't expect her to get stabbed to death by you don't know it's
you don't know who it is.
As a woman until later on in the film.
Yeah.
Because you just think, oh yeah, he's talking to his mother.
Yeah.
But then you find out, oh, she's been dead for a long time.
Yeah. It's shot quite well because obviously he puts on the whole. It's in a different building. You quite often like the lights come on and he's like, you hear the shouting, but you don't ever see what's going on up there. Such a great movie.
Yeah, it gets with those things. It gets unnerving because you're like, he's a bit nuts in the head, so you get a bit unnerved with what he might do.
Yeah.
But yeah, Psycho definitely. Halloween, The Thing, John Carpenter in general.
Right.
But mainly The Thing, because that's one of my all-time favourites.
Yeah, The Thing is a great movie. I'm a big fan of The Thing from Another World as well.
That's also great.
But yeah, in terms of Carpenter, absolutely, The Thing is a masterpiece.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm a big fan of a lot of his films, to be honest. So
yeah. I don't think he's made a bad film.
Oh, he has.
Probably one.
I mean, Escape from LA.
Escape from LA.
Fuck off.
Oh yeah, that. Oh wait. Apart from that one.
Yeah, I mean, certainly his, everything up to like kind of the early 90s was just absolutely perfect.
Escape from New York, that's the only one.
Escape
worth
from New
mentioning.
York, wonderful film, covered that recently. And Mouth of Madness.
Mouth of Madness.
That's a really underrated film, actually. That never gets brought up enough. People don't talk about that film enough. That is a really solid film.
I'm trying to think what else he's done. Said The Thing, didn't I? Yeah. Assault on Precinct 13.
Again, that is a great film from the perspective. There's things in that movie that are made better because they had no budget.
They had no budget.
Like the gunshots coming through with the paper and stuff dancing off the desks and all of that stuff. It's like, that's just awesome. It's like you didn't really have the budget to show bullet holes and things. No. What a great way to show all of that. It's just such a good movie.
It's like with,
I mean, it's effectively Night of the Living Dead with people, but it's also it's a siege movie.
Yeah, that's now one of my favorite films. They basically had no budget.
No, again, yeah, and they made it work.
They made it work with what they had.
Arguably better for it, I think. A lot of those movies.
I think it was a lot of his friends like, yeah, we will come help you make this film.
Yeah.
Same with Annette and Cool Shot, just helping you out.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever you need, I'll get my own fucking costume and everything else. So I had the jacket and everything with the patches. I have so many patches. It's ridiculous.
You do have a lot of patches.
I have a lot of patches. Well, on my
That's
newer jacket,
thing,
on my newer jacket. But yeah, what the fuck? Just looking.
Oh, there's not a lot there actually. There's most of it. So I've got to a point now where I came to a conclusion.
War of the Worlds are like that.
War of the Worlds is fantastic. I came to a conclusion a few years ago that I don't trust streaming sites at all. So while I'm subscribed to some, I'm like, I want everything on DVD. So most of my DVD collection now, I just have the DVDs and they're in wallets. So I've basically got there's I don't know, 500 DVDs in a box there. There's another couple of hundred over there. And then just a few out on display, like the classic horror stuff over there. But all the John Carpenter stuff is in that box.
Brilliant.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't get wrong with John Carpenter.
Can't go wrong with John Carpenter. Trying to figure out other great directors like that.
Sam Raimi,
Evil Dead.
Yeah,
obviously. Can't go wrong with the Evil Dead films.
No, I mean, Sam Raimi's got a very specific style as well. I mean, I saw
Darkman as another great film.
Darkman's fantastic. Drag Me to Hell, I thought was hilarious.
Drag Me to Hell.
I had a great time with that movie. But he's got such a distinct visual style that even if you're watching Spider-Man, you can still see it's Sam Raimi.
It's a Sam Raimi film.
I mean, I saw Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness a couple of weeks ago. Wasn't a fan, but
I haven't seen it.
But visually, it's still got his visual style. It's like immediately when you're watching Sam Raimi, you're like, that's a Sam Raimi shot.
Like he said, it doesn't matter if it's Spider-Man, Darkman, any of the Evil Dead films. Yep. It's a Sam Raimi.
It's Sam Raimi.
It's Sam Raimi just from watching it.
It's the way those zooms, those certain shots, they're just very, very Raimi.
Yeah, I think the first Evil Dead film didn't have that much of a budget either.
No, it didn't. No. I mean, that was like a borderline student
because they're all friends, so they were just helping each other out. Because obviously Bruce and Sam knew each other from college or something.
Yeah.
So Bruce became friends with Sam, and then obviously became friends with Ted, who's in a lot of his films.
Ted turns out, I think he's like a producer for him anyway, isn't he? He helps out a lot, and I think he ends up on film every time, pretty much.
You do acting, getting it.
yeah, exactly.
Cool. Yeah, because he's like, yeah, here's my brother Ted. He's gonna die in this film. Dies in Darkman.
Mm-hmm.
Gets his bloody head crushed.
Darkman's an underrated movie.
Yeah, no one talks about it. I've not seen very many reviews.
Especially these days with superhero movies being what they are. Darkman was a good. It was a good dark anti-hero.
I like the
movie
anti-hero. I know what I mean, but yeah, I like the more anti-hero.
Yeah.
Everyone calls Batman a superhero. He's an anti-hero, but he's also a detective as well.
Yeah.
Can't really call him a superhero in a sense. Well, he is a hero, but not a. Well,
yeah. I don't know.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
But everyone thinks, yeah, Batman, Superman, superheroes. Well, Oh, Superman's a superhero, obviously.
Yeah, I think he's like the archetypal
Obviously,
superhero, really.
Yeah, but I prefer Batman over Superman any day. That's just me.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But some cases, there are times like, yeah, Superman's cool here, but then Batman's cooler. He's dark. He's foreboding.
It's never. I'm very much bored of superheroes in general these days. But
yeah, I don't really.
I mostly enjoyed. The only times I really enjoy Superman is if he's like he works well as part of an ensemble for me. You know, if he's in the Justice League or if he's teaming up with Batman back in the day. But other than that, like I really liked Red Sun was probably that's the comic when it's like an alternate reality where he instead of as a kid crashing in Kansas, wherever it is, Smallville, he lands in Russia. So the whole film is about the whole comic is about him.
I've heard about that one actually.
Him being like brought up in Russia, so he becomes like Russia's superhero rather than the US's. It's really cool.
They made an animated film of it. I remember.
Have they?
I think they have. Yeah, I remember.
Do you know? I think Matt
someone
reviewed that at some point, and
someone did a video of like the top Superman films, and that was one of them.
Right.
I thought. So you just mentioned. I thought, wait a minute.
yeah, it was a fun comic, but I've not watched the movie.
I saw something. I can't remember what it's called though.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch a lot of superhero films. I watched a lot of the Marvel stuff lately.
I haven't watched. Well, I mean, I watched Doctor Strange because my housemate didn't have anyone to go with, so I basically went. But before that, I haven't watched. Pretty much Endgame is pretty much where I stopped watching that.
Oh yeah, Endgame.
Generally, I just don't have an interest. I feel like I've watched the same movie over and over again.
Yeah.
Which is weird as a huge Godzilla fan. It just goes to show, you know, people like what they like and they don't like what they don't.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I listen.
If it makes you happy, it makes me happy.
That's why I watch a lot of horror films. Like,
yeah, I love horror. I mean, horror is my my kind of number one genre. I think
that's my number one genre.
You know, if I had my top 5 films, most of them are horror.
Most of mine are
an
horror.
Overwhelming percentage of them.
Most of mine are.
Do you have a top 5?
Top 5 horror.
Movies.
Movies.
Or horror if you want to do horror.
Fucking hell. Well, the Thing's on there definitely.
Sure.
That's not leaving, unless someone else knocks that out the park. What did I say in my chat? Yeah, I said Hereditary, The Witch.
Both fantastic films.
The Lighthouse. So I
actually watched The Witch last night.
And I said 7 last time.
You did say 7, yeah.
I like 7.
Yeah, I mean, that's more... I always thought that is more of a thriller. But it
has
horror elements.
It's got horror elements,
yeah.
So class it in there. So, especially... They're just... That one scene where they go back into the precinct and there's Kevin Spacey just coming up behind them covered in blood.
Yeah.
He's like, detective!
Such a good film.
It's me you're looking for. It's like...
You know, apparently, I'm sure I read somewhere that Brad Pitt actually broke his arm in real life.
He did actually break his when he falls into the dumpster.
Yeah,
he actually did break his arm.
Yeah,
so he was in a cast for pretty much that entire film.
Yeah, but it worked well because they wrote it in rather than like, oh, we need to wait 6 months.
That's
until,
why 6 months until his bones completely healed.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, he actually did break his arm.
I think sometimes when you're making stuff, you just got to roll with what happens and just be like, okay, we'll just write it in, get it in there somehow. And it's more realistic for it because it is like, he broke his arm doing that, so it makes sense to keep it in.
Just keep it in. It adds to the character as well. It's like,
for sure.
Broke my arm on duty.
It's almost iconic.
Now I want to find this asshole.
Yeah.
It's iconic. And,
that was a great film.
Well, obviously, when I was looking at Godzilla, Japanese films, I love Japanese films.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
obviously,
the Ring, the original, The Ring.
Yeah, the Ringo is a wonderful, wonderful film. I'm a big fan of. I really like The Grudge. I'm not a fan so much of the sequels.
The sequels.
They're not that. The second one's okay. It goes downhill very quickly, as most of these sequels do. I really like, though. Having said that, I really do like Ring 2. Not a big fan. Not such a fan of Ring O. But Ring 2's good. And I really like Dark Water.
Yeah.
Dark Water I thought was fantastic.
I've seen the remake, I haven't seen the original.
I have never seen the remake because I saw the remake.
It's alright.
I saw the remake of The Ring and I really didn't like it.
Yeah, I've seen the remake of The Ring first before the original.
So I didn't bother watching the remakes of the others, so I just couldn't be bothered.
For the original, to be honest.
Yeah, the original's amazing.
Much better. and scarier.
Yeah, the Japanese do psychological horror very well.
That's what they freak me out more than most.
Yeah, I think it's far more effective. I mean, if
Western
you watch The
films.
Ring, objectively, you're like, well, she watches a tape, and it tells her
You're gonna die in 7 days.
she basically learns she's going to die, and
Basically in a week.
and then basically nothing happens. Like, you know, on paper, you're like, nothing really happens that's scary. Really. I mean, occasionally,
really.
like, she looks at the picture of herself and it's blurred, and that's a bit creepy. Other than that, pretty much nothing happens. And yet, that film just layers tension.
Oh yeah.
And it just keeps layering and layering and layering.
layering.
And with the music and everything else, by the time you get to the end of that film, you're just terrified. It's amazing how subtle that film just builds, and it just keeps building. And the more we hear, third hand the story of Sadako and her mother and all of that stuff, and the more you hear about it, the creepier and weirder it gets.
Yeah, I was just like, oh.
It's amazing.
That's why I like all the, if it's Japanese, Chinese, Korean, no matter what sort of film it is, it unnerves you in some sort of way.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, Godzilla 1954 is my favorite film of all time.
It's brilliant.
I also think it's not only my favorite film of all time, I think it is probably the best film ever made, in my opinion.
I agree on that.
Yeah, you don't have to agree. But
Well, no, I've watched it. It's brilliant.
It is. It's a fantastic film. I think people watch, the sort of, they watch Showa era Godzilla, later Showa era Godzilla, or they, or even the Heisei stuff, and into Millennium, and they kind of think Godzilla is just, it's just monsters fighting monsters, and it's like this silly monster mash, campy fun of the Showa era, and it is that. It is basically that, and it's also that, I mean, nowadays they've done that Godzilla versus Kong, the American movie, they basically went, let's just get Showa era silly and just go all out with it, monster fights and stuff, and that's great. I love all that stuff. But the original Godzilla is a dark, bleak commentary on one of the most horrendous things in human history.
Post-war.
It's such a dark, horrendous movie, in the best way possible. And then Shin Godzilla, I think, did a very good job with that as well, bringing that.
Yeah, I've not seen that one.
Watch it. Shin Godzilla is an amazing film.
Been meaning to. It was on my list.
It takes it back to it's got proper social commentary. Obviously, the original Godzilla is the dropping of nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Shin Godzilla is about the 2011 tsunami and the nuclear disaster they had there.
Wow.
So it's similar, not similar, but again, had very serious commentary. Although it's got some comedic moments as well. But yeah, the original Godzilla is just fantastic. And I've been into Japanese films particularly, and then kind of after that you kind of broaden your horizons and you go to China and Korea and everywhere else. But that it's a very distinct style of filmmaking that they've got.
Definitely.
And because it's interesting, isn't it? Because when you first watch like a Japanese horror film, you're like, oh my god, this is so much more scary than Western horror. It's so much different. But then you realize, once you start watching a lot of Japanese horror, you realize that, like over here, we've got these trends and these tropes. They do the same over there, and it's really funny to be like, oh, because at first you're like, oh my god, this is so fresh and different, and then you watch enough of it, you're like, actually, they just do the same thing over there again and again, like we do the same thing over here again and again.
Exactly.
It's kind of funny how that works out, but
it's quite, like you say, it's just quite funny.
Yeah.
There's Japanese films. Don't know if you're aware of them. It's the Guinea Pig series.
No, don't think so.
Japanese films, but one of them, Charlie Sheen thought one of them was a fucking snuff film.
Right.
It's a guinea pig film. It's called Flower of Flesh and Blood.
Okay.
It's literally this guy just kidnaps this woman off the street and just tortures her.
Do you know? I've never really been into torture movies. I don't Like I don't
It's
mind
overly gory as you would get
Yeah,
with those
yeah.
sorts of films.
I've never really understood the
They
point.
got a
of
bit
it.
sillier after a while. But I
yeah.
think that kind of worked.
It's each to their own. People love those movies. Like I was watching Saw with my ex for a while. We was watching all those movies. She's a huge fan of those, and
Yeah,
they're
it's just them getting
fine.
tortured and
They're
stuff.
fine, but like they're kind of. I mean, they've got something of a point,
You got a point. It's mainly just.
but it is mainly just like I. And after a while, I'm like, okay,
ask it. It's like it's
I don't find it scary or horrifying. I just kind of watch it and I'm like, that's fine. It's just people getting tortured. Like Hostel. I was like, what's the point?
What's the point of that?
What's the point? Really?
I mean, I enjoyed the first film. Second one was okay.
But like, I went through a phase.
Third one was.
I went through a thing a couple of years ago, and I was like, I don't know why. I was just like, I'm just gonna start collecting and watching cannibal movies, and I've got so many of those cannibal movies.
Holocaust.
I got Cannibal Holocaust. I've got like so many of them, and I watched all of them, and I was like, these are just. I don't know why I'm watching these anymore. Why am I watching this?
Why am I watching this film?
Yeah. You just get to a point where you're like, I don't know.
I don't know about this one anymore. So I'll take you out, put you back in.
Oh, I never get rid of films. I always think like.
No, I don't mean get rid of it. Just put
you know.
it back in the case.
Yeah.
Oh, what can I watch? What Italian film can I watch? Oh, Tenebrae. I'll put that on.
Oh, Italian horrors.
I love Italian horror.
Oh, amazing.
I'm trying to remember what other Japanese or Asian films in general are like. Old Boy.
The whole Vengeance trilogy.
I haven't seen the other ones yet, but I've seen
you
Old
should,
Boy.
dude. The Vengeance trilogy.
I've been meaning to.
I've
seen a remake of Old Boy. It's not,
yeah.
It's all right. It's Josh Brolin as the main character, but
yeah. I really enjoyed the Baby Cart series back in the day. I mean that gets very silly, but great fun. Lady Snowblood, another great. It kind of inspired Kill Bill.
Oh, Kill Bill.
It was very Tarantino was a big fan.
I loved Tarantino films as well. Old Boy.
Old Boy's fantastic.
It's like
the amount of films that have copied that one shot hallway scene now. There's so many films did it after Old Boy because it was such an iconic scene. It's like The Matrix though. It's like they did bullet time.
Yeah.
No one else should
do that
because you're just instantly a cheap rip off of that.
Oh, you had Scary Movie bloody parody it when.
Well, a parody's a bit different. But
it's a parody. It takes the piss out of multiple films, even if it's horror, action, sci-fi, something. It doesn't matter. But yeah, like you said, that iconic scene in Old Boy where he's just beating everyone up in that hallway.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing. It's one of my favourite scenes in film
brilliant
history.
Scene.
It's just like
absolutely brilliant.
Just bashing people with hammers and he's just like swinging out and almost just like, oh, I don't know.
And then you get like those crazy choreography like that. It's just it's amazing. You see things like watch films like Ong Bak. And stuff
I was literally thinking
like ridiculously long one shot.
It's just literally tossing people off the balconies and stuff like that. I was just like,
and the great thing about that is it Ong Bak? Is Ong Bak the one? I can't remember if it's Ong Bak or it's Warrior King. One of them. It's one of them. When he does the running up the stairs, he's like going up the stairs, just fighting people all the way up, and you can see he's getting tired. It adds that realism because you can see they're knackered. It's like he's literally been trying to just really running up there and doing all that stuff. It's like it's crazy, man.
It's hard boiled as well.
Oh, Hard Boiled, The Killer.
Yeah,
the early John Woo movies.
Yeah, because there's that long scene in Hard Boiled when in the hospital where they're just shooting.
Yeah,
that really long bit.
The climax of Hard Boiled is just insane. That's like I remember seeing that as a kid and just being like, I said to my friend, I was like, I'm done. Like I'm done with gunfights for like months. I'm like, that's it now. That's it. You are not going to top that for a gunfight. It's insane.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, John Woo.
Yeah,
fantastic. I mean, The Killer.
The Killer's great.
The Killers.
I think it's
The Killer. It's The Killer. Yeah, sorry, it's The Killer. Bullet in the Head. Yeah, fantastic director. I was obviously the immortal Face Off, the greatest film of all time.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the actor's name in the Chow Yun Fat. Is that his name?
Chow Yun Fat. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember
He also did Crouching Tiger.
And he was in The Replacement.
The Replacement Killers. That's a film
which has Danny Trejo in it as well.
I've not
like,
thought
what
about
the
that film for
These
years.
two in a film together? God, I have to see that.
Yeah, Chow Fat did. He tried to kind of penetrate the West. He didn't.
It didn't work.
Didn't work so well for him. It's funny how some actors can do that. He's fantastic.
He's fantastic.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of slightly different, but in Infernal Affairs, that whole trilogy, fantastic. No, they're great films. Really good. They were remade as The Departed over here. Scorsese.
Okay, that's why I would know it, because The Departed.
Yeah, so I've the original was.
I need to watch this.
Highly recommended. But yeah, man, it's good stuff. Good stuff. So what have you got planned? What's coming up? Obviously, the Aventail game. Is there tickets still available for that?
What in
for the festival
in Yorkshire? Yeah, there's still tickets left. This
is Warhorns.
Yeah, type Warhorns. Big card sale on Google, you'll find it there.
Yeah.
Or go on Facebook, you'll find the event there. Warhorns Late Summer Camp Festival.
And then obviously the EP's coming out.
EP will be coming out
in the next couple of months, hopefully.
This month. Want to say this month because it'd be good to have it out in the summer.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter when you play folk metal.
Yeah.
Summer, winter, autumn, spring. It's like thinking black metal. It's like, yeah, best time to play black metal during the winter. You can listen to black metal
you can listen to music anytime. Yeah.
Anytime. And obviously, I said in my chat, I listen to folk music.
Yeah.
Because we're going to do some folk songs in Aventail.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, a bunch of us can play folk instruments. I got a big frame drum.
Nice.
Which a lot of them are made out of animal hides, like goat skin, deer skin, something. Mine's really nice. Well, it doesn't sound nice when it hasn't been tightened by putting it next to a fire and then tighten up.
Right.
Sounds a bit. But yeah, the EP should be out. I'm gonna say hopefully this month of June.
Okay. I'll put links in the description.
Links in the description. Obviously, if you want to find every single page for Aventail, we got a link tree. Just got to go on Facebook. You find a link tree there.
Yeah, I'll link your link tree, and also obviously Jake's Metal Chat on YouTube. No guests confirmed yet, but you're working on.
No more guests confirmed as of yet, but I will be showing CDs, vinyl, tapes.
Yeah.
And just chatting a fuck ton of metal, because that's the whole point of the channel. And even filming some bands.
Yeah.
So I film bands. I haven't done that. That's what I was doing for my channel, because I didn't know what else to do. I got some old videos which I don't think really fit with what I'm doing now, so I'll probably get rid of them. Download them.
Yeah.
But then then delete them from my channel forever. But I'll still have copies.
Yeah. Fair enough, man.
But I also have a radio show on Top Rock Radio.
Yeah, Top Rock Radio.
Which is next week.
On the 18th, right?
18th of June at 7 p.m.
Which is called
Jake's Metal Sessions.
Jake's Metal Sessions.
On Top Rock Radio. Alongside two other mates of mine. Simon, he's on... Actually, he's going to be on this evening. The 11th today. But it's going to be his last show for a while. And then there's my mate, the man who gave me a show on his radio station, Mr. Jim Beerman,
right,
who runs the festival Beermageddon.
Nice. And
he's been running that since 2012. First time they did it was in Nottingham. Now it's at Bromsgrove, which is Worcester / Birmingham / whatever the fuck else. Midlands area, let's say that. But yeah, so I don't do the radio stuff every week. It's once a month.
It's better that way. I did radio once. Well, I did radio twice a week for almost 9 years, and it's too much. Yeah, monthly show is cool.
Monthly's better.
It's nice.
It works better. So obviously I got the show on the 18th, and then I got one on the 20th of August, because I'm not doing one in July, because I'm not only going to Fantasy Forest, I'm volunteering there literally days before the festival even begins.
Right.
So I'm helping put up the stage and all the bands can play, because otherwise I'm going to have nowhere to fucking play at any point over the weekend.
Cool, man.
And then obviously September, October, November, December, I'll be doing more Jake's Metal
sessions, and hopefully
almost
we'll
said
have
Chatland.
Sorry,
almost said Chatland.
Almost chat, yeah. And obviously you'll hopefully be touring with Aventail in the near future.
In the near future, with hopefully some of all your favourite bands out there.
Yeah. But cheers, dude. This has been fun.
Yeah, that's been fun having me.
We'll definitely have you back, because Aventail continue, catch up, and see how things are going.
Yeah, I'll drag Alex along.
Yeah, man, why not? I mean, we got a new film to start working on pretty soon as well.
Yes.
But anyway, thank you for listening, everybody. It is hot as hell in here, so we're going to turn the fan back on.
Let's turn the damn fan on.
Because, that's how professional we are. Stop the fan to record and then put the fan back on.
So put the fan back on.
Going to cool down. But cheers for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
See you later.